Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Santino Jones, but you can call me Tino. And today we have another installment of games you probably never played before or heard of. Now this game is for all my DBZ fans out there, aka Dragon Ball Z fans. It's none other than Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2 for the PlayStation 2 and the original GameCube. As you can see, you see the cover of Budokai 2, you see Majin Buu and Goku, Gotenks, and all the people that were featured in the Majin Buu saga on the front cover. If you can see it right there, you see all the stuff you can do in the game, so on and so forth. Now this one wasn't featured in the HD collection of the Budokai series that came out on the PS3 back in 2008. This one was left out due to the fact that it was so weird and different from the other series. The first Budokai was an exact replica of the show back in the early 2000s that came to America. You had the cutscenes to match it all, the music, so on and so forth, and the character model didn't look as bad as it does today. And Budokai 3 was the best version of Budokai. You can be flying around the world as various DBZ characters throughout the story, and you had the option to unlock a bunch of secret characters. Not to mention, Budokai 3 went all the way up to Dragon Ball GT. Technically not canon, but at the time, it technically was because everyone referenced that being the final version of Dragon Ball Z. GT was always featured in all the games back in the early 2000s. But 2 was the weird one of the bunch. Granted, Budokai 2 did not make it into the HD collection. Does not mean it's necessarily a bad game. They saw it as not really a potential fighter as the other two. They saw it as more of a wacky, chill back, have fun type of vibe. But if you ask a lot of people who've been playing this game, they're gonna tell you that it was one of their favorite games coming up, especially being a Dragon Ball Z fan. So with that out the way, let's hop right into the intro. Now there's something that you should know about the early 2000s when it came to anime games. Most anime games would just use the actual opening from the show in order to replicate the game itself. However, with Budokai 2, they decided to make a custom intro just for this game. In the intro, you see Goku going through all his battles from Vegeta to Frieza and finally reaching the form Super Saiyan 3. And it shows all the characters that you can play as, and fight against. It focused heavily, and I mean heavily, on the Majin Buu arc as far as story-wise go. Infusing with everything that people wanted in the Dragon Ball Z game, considering around this time, the Majin Buu arc was just kicking off in America. Everyone loved it, and everyone wanted to see it. So now let's talk about the story mode. Now, this story mode isn't like your traditional Dragon Ball Z game. Like I said before, they focus heavily on the Majin Buu arc. And they kind of didn't focus on much else. Instead of doing the normal, you fight cutscene after cutscene story mode, they decided to go with something like a board game style story mode, where you get to choose multiple characters to aid you on your quest. And it can be really fun. However, something that always bothered me about the story mode is the fact that they pretty much just said fuck it when it came to the other stories. Yeah, they focused heavily on the Majin Buu arc, but they didn't really care about the other stories. Instead of you fighting Raditz by itself, you get to fight Raditz and Nappa at the exact same time, which is very weird. And Vegeta is nowhere to be found. You don't fight Vegeta in the very beginning like in normal Dragon Ball Z games. And yeah, you get to fight a bunch of Cybermen, and what's weird, you can choose other characters that has nothing to do with the arc at this time. Like you can choose Gotenks, you can choose Trunks, and it's like they really did not try to take themselves seriously as far as a DBZ game goes. I guess this one they were just trying to have a lot of fun. But what's weird about it is the fact that yeah, they're trying to have a lot of fun, but it doesn't mean you don't have to stay retained to the real story. Because what was always weird to me is the fact that you have to fight Frieza in like the Council Corp snowy area that's on Earth. And you never meet Frieza on Earth, which is always weird to me. You fight Frieza, Raccoon, even fight Ginyu on Earth. Then, once you beat them, you transfer to Planet Namek. That's when you meet Vegeta. Like, and the only way you can unlock Vegeta is by beating him all 3 times, taking away his health bar. And you have to beat him with Goku, by the way. Don't forget that. You have to beat him with Goku, otherwise you will not unlock him. However, there may be a lot of things to dislike about this game. There are a lot of things to like as well. It's very fun when you get to play with multiple people, and then you and your friends or your family members can take turns with it. Like, you could be Goku, or you could be Vegeta, or you be Krillin, Gohan. It doesn't matter, depending on how many people you get to use throughout the game. And you get to find secret items on the map such as sensor beams, Dragon Ball radars, and even capsules unlock stages or even movesets for different characters. You do get to go through all the story arcs in the story, however, as far as the Majin Buu arc goes. You get to fight inside the hyperbolic time chamber. You get to fight before Majin Buu is hatched, which is very cool because that's something that hasn't really been featured in any game besides this one. The fact that if you fight, Majin Buu most likely will be resurrected. And they, like I said, they did not really stay true to the original story, because throughout the story, people like Frieza and Cell will occasionally come back as Majins, which is cool, I guess. But at the same time, they really said fuck the story on this one. Like, if I'm being brutally honest, they did not give a fuck about the story. They just wanted to have fun with it, and it's cool. I'm not knocking them for that. It was something different at the time. I'm pretty sure a lot of people wasn't complaining about it. However, this one did not sell as much as the first one. It actually sold less, which is pretty fucked up, but still a fun game. Now with that out the way, let's jump into a few things that make this game lovable as a whole. First, we'll start with the combo system, the versus mode, and also the iconic fusions. So the combo system stays the same as far as Budokai 1 goes. A lot of transformation were put in this one, considering the fact that it is a Majin Buu arc. So a lot of characters such as Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, even Goten and Trunks have evolved as far as fighters. They got more transformations such as Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, and unlocked potential. Well, I guess Mr. Gohan, I guess the word you would use for it, or Elder Kai is what they literally call it in the game, but kind of going off memory here, But they did introduce mini games when you do certain special moves such as the Spirit Bomb, the Final Flash, Big Bang Attack, and Kamehameha. Combo system stays the same as Budokai 1 as far as, like, I guess you would say stiffness. I mean, it is a little stiff, but it's still enjoyable at the exact same time, where you get to play with some of your favorite characters, newer characters that came on the roster around this time, and just trying to explore different areas of this game. There are a lot of secret characters as well. Now, what really makes the game stand out is the fact that pretty much anyone can do a fusion. Yeah, you have Majin Buu absorbing Gohan, Gotenks, and even Piccolo. However, Majin Buu can also absorb Vegeta, Frieza, and Cell, which was never in the original story. However, it's still, I guess, fun. You know, like it's a cool idea. You know, the fact that you can play around with absorptions and fusions. And with the fusion side thing, yeah, you have Goten and Trunks making Gotenks, you have Goku and Vegeta making Vegito, but you can also have Yamcha and Tien fuse, Goku and Hercule fuse, and a lot of fusions that are throughout the game that are hidden that you have to unlock. And they stay true with the whole fusion thing as far as you can mess up if you decide to put the wrong inputs in. See, in order to do the fusion, you have to put the right buttons in. If you don't, you'll get the fat or the skinny version of that character that you just tried to make the fusion with. Same thing with the Pretora earrings. However, you don't get fat nor skinny, but someone gets to crush your earring, so you won't be able to fuse. And you're basically stuck fighting as that one character throughout the entire game. If you really want to look down to it, this game is kind of like a what if. Like, what if Goku had to fuse with Hercule in order to fight Majin Buu? What if Tien and Yamcha had to fuse in order to be strong enough to even stand a chance against Majin Buu? Like, what if, you know? This game is like a what if version of Dragon Ball Z. This game is technically Xenoverse before Xenoverse, in a way. Not entirely, but they did play around with it a lot, a whole lot. Now, the one thing that did change versus the first one is the fact in the World Tournament mode, you can play with up to 8 people at once. 8 people get to choose who they want to play as, and you all get to duke it out in a tournament. In the first one, it was only one player. Now, they made it to where anyone can play. And the concept stuck around a lot in the DBZ games, where multiple people can play in the World Tournament, which makes it fun and really test your skills against people who may think they're better than you in the game. They also kept the original soundtrack from the first one, but just added new songs with it. And also, collecting Dragon Balls are very important to the game. You see, if you collect all 7 Dragon Balls, you can wish for various things, such as breakthroughs. Breakthroughs give any character, whoever you would like to break through for, all of their moves that they ever had over the show. And it takes up the entire slot, however it does give them all their moves without you running out of spaces, just putting them in there. Instead of going to the battle store, you can just unlock the breakthrough, and then that person has all of their moves that they ever had in the show, which is pretty cool and very fun at the exact same time, considering the fact that if you unlock all the moves, you're not going to be able to put them all in there. So the breakthrough is the best thing to get. Now we come to the final conclusion. Is it worth playing? And I have to say yes. Yeah, granted, it's not the first or the third one or Tenkaichi or anything like that. It is definitely the weirdest one of those series. However, it is a fun game, especially if you are a DBZ fan like myself, a die-hard DBZ fan at that. You will like playing this game. It's very wacky, but it's also very fun. You can do a whole lot of secret stuff in it, and it's a fun game. It's a fun game to try out with everyone, especially if you are a DBZ fan. And yeah, I recommend playing it. I play it from time to time. It's not like the main game I play, but it's still a fun game to enjoy, especially with multiple people. Sometimes you go through story mode more than once in order to unlock everything, so it does have a lot of replay value as far as the story mode goes. And if you have someone with you, it makes it more fun because you guys get to fight over who gets what character, who's favorite character, and it is a fun game as far as like the story mode goes. Yes, it's very weird versus the other ones. It does not stay true to the main story unless it's in the Majin Buu arc, and even then they still play around with it. I do remember me and my brothers and my cousins staying up all hours of the night just trying to play through the story mode from the next morning. And you know, it is a fun game to have with multiple people, especially if you're a kid and you love DBZ. It's a fun game. It is definitely a fun game to play as far as that. Granted, they were just trying something new, and it wasn't the most successful Budokai throughout the series, but it's still enjoyable. Now, the only sad thing about it is the only way you can play this game now is by having the original copies or on an emulator. Emulators are a thing if you have a PC or even your Android phones. Yeah, iPhone doesn't have it, unfortunately, but you can still play this game. I would recommend just playing in the original format that it has, like the PS2 or the GameCube. I feel like that way you get as much experience as you want, but that's just me being an old gamer. But you know, that's something that I do recommend. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe down below, and please follow me on Twitter and my Facebook. It'll be in the description below, and let me know what other games you think I should do next. Should I do a game that you probably played, or you know, any game that you feel like no one else has? Or is there anything I can work on as far as these videos? I'm trying a new setup now. I have a camera now, so I'm trying to get a little better at it, trying to find a big lighter, and just trying to be better at this. You know, it's a little process. But anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.